message for your anger, for your anger, you know? When you get angry, you do things that you don't mean to do. That's just the evil spirit taking control. It's a sin. Because sin and the devil just wants to take over you. It's like a poison, you know? The more you grieve on it and the more you think about it and the more you give in to it, it builds up and up and up until it takes over your body. And that's what any sin. When you're thinking about sinning, when you're looking at sinful things or thinking about doing sinful things, or not just saying one sinful thing, but like if you think about drinking, smoking, lusting, when you just have the thought about it, it builds up to take control of your mind, because your mind is the most powerful thing in your body because it controls you. So with anger, you have to learn to control that anger. You have to learn to let go of that anger when you feel it taking over. Because a lot of people, mostly everybody, when you get angry or upset, you always have that one sin you go to, whether it's smoking, you have a bad day, oh, I gotta smoke so I can calm down. It's always that one thing you have when you're mad or when you grieving or when you're sad. You always have that sin you go to. It's just a comforter sin. You may not think you have it, but everybody has one. And that's when you don't have to be bound to that sin. You don't have to be bound. Thank you, Lord. You don't have to be bound to sin anymore when you surrender your life to the Lord. You don't have to be bound to the flesh. You're separate from one. You're not just one. You have your spiritual self and then you have your fleshly self. You're not bounded to that anymore. You have your holy self and you have your fleshly self. If you're catching me, you're catching me, Because when Jesus lived and he was praying before before he got crucified, he was praying. He was saying, if there's any way you can take away this punishment, which the punishment was to die on a cross, he knew he was going to die on a cross. Thank you, Lord. He knew he was going to die on a cross, but he was praying to take away that he was praying to, but it wasn't him praying, because when he got sent down, he already knew that he was going to die on the cross. He already knew this was what he had to do to set us free from our sinful ways, to come to the Lord and to surrender our lives to be covered in the blood. He already knew. But when your fleshly self, the devil can take over your fleshly self because you're human. Every human can be taken over by sin, can be persuaded by sin, or, and that's why he was saying, like, you might not know the plan, or you might not know, but your flesh knows, if you get me, Like, when he was praying and he was saying, if there's any way you can take this away, his spiritual self didn't want to take it away, but his fleshly self wanted to take it away because he wanted to stop the plan. He wanted to stop the plan from him dying on the cross and us being saved. But his spiritual self didn't. So it happened and we're saved, you know? And yeah. And you have to, and I'm trying to get at that when you let your flesh take over, you might be delaying your blessing, or you might be, you can't mess up your blessing. You can't stop your blessing. You can't do anything to cancel your blessing or cancel the plan that God has for your life. But your flesh always wants to delay that. He wants to delay he wants to delay your blessing. He wants to delay the plan for your life. That's why when Jesus was praying, he was like, can you take this away? That was just his flesh telling his spirit that you don't want this because it's going to be painful. It's going to hurt. It's going to do a lot to your body. And he wanted to delay it so he can have more control over more people. And he can have more control over what sins they do and what they do, so more people won't get saved. So what I'm getting at is when you get angry and whenever you do what you do, only you know what you do. When you get to that sin that you do, when you're going through it, just think about, this is just the enemy trying to delay what's better coming in my life. This is the enemy trying to delay what is to come. It's the enemy trying to stop or trying to distract me from better things in my life. And I just come to say, don't let anger or don't let sadness or don't let the grief take over you. It's always something better. Surrender your life and ask for his peace, and he will give you his peace. I love you, and if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to comment, I have God's peace. I want y'all to comment that, I have God's peace. And I want to thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, just subscribe for more someday content, day-to-day content. And thank you for watching.